Good morning, everyone. And thank you for attending the Joint Coast District Ohigan service. My name is Reverend Naomi Nakano, and I am the minister at San Luis Obispo and Guadalupe Buddhist Church. I'm so glad you could all join us. As always, we will begin the service with the Sutra Chanting. So grab a cup of coffee, relax, but don't try to chant and drink coffee at the same time. It doesn't work. So if you would, please join us for Sambujo, led by Reverend Etsuko Mikame of San Jose, Betsuing, followed by Hyogyakumon, read by Reverend J. Shinseki of Monterey Peninsula, Salinas, and Watsonville Buddhist Temple, followed by the chanting of Chusei-ge, led by Reverend Yushi Mukojima from Mountain View Buddhist Church. So if you would please join us for our chanting of the words of the Buddha.
Namando, 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 Namando.
Today, the Coast District Temples gather to praise Amida Buddha, the Buddha of infinite wisdom and compassion. We acknowledge our indebtedness to Shakyamuni Buddha, who fulfilled the primal vow of Umezu. We sincerely honor Shinran Shonin, who has clearly shown the essence of Jodo Shinshu. On this day, celebrating Ohigan, we pay tribute to the Buddha who has fulfilled the paramitas and his vow of Umezu, so that we, who cannot achieve perfection because of our blind egos, are embraced in Amida Buddha. We gather to express our gratitude for Amida's benevolent compassion. It is an opportunity for family, friends, and our sanghas to strengthen relationships and to deepen our understanding of life through the Nembutsu teachings taught by Shinran Shonin. May the light of the lanterns remind us of the light that shines from the boundless compassion of Amida Buddha. With deepest reverence and thankfulness for the all-embracing wisdom and compassion of Amida Buddha, we reaffirm the three homages. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namo Kia Boots, Namo Kia Ho, Namo Kia Soul. Nammandavus, 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 Nammandavus.
Amam
Good morning, everyone. If you'll please join now in the golden chain. Gasho, please. I am a link in Amida's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. I will be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will think pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amida's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Buddha.
Thank you, senseis. I have the privilege now of introducing our speaker for this service. Her name is Reverend Koe Umezu. She was born in Los Angeles and raised in the San Francisco Bay Area. She currently resides in Torrance, California with her spouse, Marie Miyashiro. She's the eldest daughter of Reverend Kodo and Janet Umezu. She attended University of California, Davis, graduating with a double major in communication and studio arts. She graduated in 2002 and moved back to Los Angeles to pursue her career in storyboarding in the film and television industry. She continues to freelance as a storyboard artist. In 2019, Reverend Koe received Tokudo ordination in Kyoto, Japan. In August of 2020, Reverend Koe was assigned as assistant minister at the West Los Angeles Buddhist Temple, where she focused on outreach of young adults under the supervision of resident minister, Reverend Koho Takata. Reverend Koe enjoys, in her free time, she enjoys reading, comic books, drawing, and watching reruns of Law and Order and the Golden Girls. She finds pleasure singing along to the Broadway show Hamilton soundtrack. She enjoys FaceTiming with her niece. And since the pandemic, she has made a discovery about herself. And that discovery is baking desserts, whom she shares with friends and relatives. She also has a green thumb and finds pleasure tending her vegetable garden. Reverend Koya also has a favorite superhero, and that superhero is Superman. So it is my pleasure and honor to introduce you to Reverend Koya Umezu. Sensei, if you would please, onegai shimasu.
Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Naman butsu, naman butsu, naman butsu, naman butsu. Good morning, everybody. How is everybody doing today? Can't see everybody, but I hope you're all doing well, relaxing, having a great weekend. It's great to be able to be here with you today for your Fall Ohigan observance. Ohigan is an observance that is unique to Buddhist traditions that originated in Japan. And it is observed twice a year, once during spring equinox and once during fall equinox. So in Japan, I have been taught that this is not just one service like we have here, but it is more of a week-long observance. So this is the Japanese Buddhist monks of long time ago decided that because these two times of the year were seasons that had perfect weather, not too hot, not too cold, but perfect weather, that these seasons were the most comfortable times to listen to the Dharma. So this is why it became a special observance to listen, especially to listen to Dharma during this time. So you may know, but the name Ohigan means other shore. So O, the first letter O is honorific. So it's showing respect to this special season. He means something like that or other. And gan means beach or shore or coast. So it roughly means, in our everyday language, that shore over there. So that shore over there refers to the realm of enlightenment, the realm of Buddha, or what we call the Pure Land that has no discrimination or causes of suffering. And like I mentioned, that is where the Buddha resides. And so if that shore over there is where Buddha resides, then where are we? This shore here, right? And this shore here refers to our world, where we as ordinary people reside. So as I mentioned, Ohigan, this equinox season, became considered the time to comfortably listen to Buddha's teachings and to aspire to leave this shore here and go to that shore over there. So in a nutshell, that is the origin story of this observance. So don't you think that origin stories are important to know? So like it was mentioned in my bio, the nice bio that Nakano Sensei did for me, that my favorite superhero is Superman. So I find Superman's origin story very important, right? He came from another planet and he came to our planet and developed powers and was turned into a superhero because he wanted to save other people. So do you watch superhero movies or cartoons? I'm sure you all have a favorite character. Marvel is very popular. Star Wars is popular, right? Spider-Man, Iron Man, Ant-Man, Wonder Woman, Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader. They all have their own origin stories, right? And their origin stories help us to understand why and how they became the people or the heroes that they did. So as I mentioned, during this time of Ohigan, we are supposed to listen to the Dharma, which is the teaching of Buddha. And so today I would like to share a very, 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 very special story that Shakyamuni Buddha taught. And it is the origin story of Amida Buddha. So I hope you all know who Amida Buddha is, right? All of us, if we come to temple, we see a statue of Amida Buddha in our onaijin, or the area where we worship the Buddha. So in our tradition of Joro Shinshu, it is very important for us to know the origin story of Amida Buddha so that we can understand how Buddha came to be. It is perhaps the most important story that we should know in our tradition. So now I would like to share my screen and share with you the origin story of Amida Buddha. So I'm sharing some little illustrated felt images that my wife Marie made, and we turned it into a story. Okay, so I would like to share the origin story of Amida Buddha. And so this story is inspired by the story in the larger sutra, what we call the larger sutra. So many years ago, long time ago, in a land far away, there was a monarch who was walking around their kingdom, reflecting on their life because they weren't as super happy as they thought they should be. And they wanted to become more happy. So they were wondering, how can I become more happy? And during their walk, they happened to see their local sage, a local Buddha, happily sitting in the forest. And as you may know, a Buddha is a special teacher who helps us to learn about our lives and our nature. And this local Buddha's name was Lokeshvara Raja Buddha. And when the monarch went up to say hi to Lokeshvara Raja Buddha, Lokeshvara Raja Buddha asked, "How can I help you?" The monarch responded, "Oh, honored Buddha, you look so happy and radiant today." And Lokeshvara Raja didn't say any words, but just smiled. So the monarch was just so inspired by Lokeshvara Raja's happiness and radiance that the monarch said, "I want to become a Buddha just like you. You always look so happy and you are so wise." So Lokeshvara Raja Buddha told the monarch that they too can become a Buddha. From that point, the monarch decided that they wanted to become a special helper and student of Lokeshvara Raja Buddha. And this type of special helper and student is called Bodhisattva. So the monarch became a Bodhisattva and took the name of Dharmakara Bodhisattva, or Bodhisattva Dharmakara. So Dharmakara Bodhisattva then asked Lokeshvara Raja, "Can you teach me how to become Buddha too?" At first, Lokeshvara Raja said, "I think you know what you need to do. You don't need my help." But Bodhisattva Dharmakara replied, "No, I do. I need your guidance." So then Lokeshvara Raja taught Dharmakara everything they knew about the Dharma. They taught them about impermanence, the interrelatedness of all things, the causes of our stress and unhappiness and suffering. Lokeshvara Raja also taught Dharmakara what they needed to know in order to study and practice by themselves. So after hearing Lokeshvara Raja's teaching, Dharmakara realized that there were many beings everywhere who were also experiencing unhappiness and stress, and they also would need a happy and wise Buddha in their lives. Dharmakara really wanted to help everybody, no matter who they were, no matter where they lived. Dharmakara Bodhisattva wanted to become the most perfect Buddha ever. So Dharmakara decided to visit all the other Buddhas in all of their respective communities and lands and learn the Dharma from them too. And after Dharmakara visited all the other Buddhas in their communities and lands, Dharmakara studied and practiced the Dharma and tried to learn how to be the most perfect Buddha. And Dharmakara did this for a long time, for eons. And this was done until Dharmakara perfected its knowledge of the Dharma. And then Dharmakara had to think long and hard again about how to help so many beings. Now that I have all this knowledge, how do I help everybody? So after more thought on this, Dharmakara finally came up with the way to help all beings that ever lived. Dharmakara declared, I will establish a perfect realm where people can come to become Buddha for themselves with no distractions. There will be no hate there, no discrimination, no fighting. And if people want to come to my realm to become Buddha, all anyone has to do is hear my wish that I want them to come and recognize that I am inviting them because I want to help them become Buddha too. Because I want to help anyone and everyone at all times. I cannot physically be in one place only if I want to help so many people. So I will become a Buddha that is a voice that can be heard everywhere. Since people won't be able to see me, I have to let them know that I'm here. And I will call out my own Buddha name. And I will know that they heard me because they can call my name back to me. So after figuring out this great solution, Dharmakara immediately transformed into a Buddha and transformed into the voice of great Buddha of immeasurable wisdom and limitless compassion, also known as Namo Amida Buddha. And so once all the other Buddhas had heard Dharmakara's promise and what Dharmakara had accomplished, all the other Buddhas cheered for and praised Namo Amida Buddha by calling Buddha's name, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, and promised to help get the word out that Namo Amida Buddha is the Buddha for everyone to follow. So thank you for listening. That is the story of Amida Buddha. And Amida Buddha's promise is to be a Buddha for anyone and everyone, and wishes for everyone to eventually become Buddha too. Amida Buddha's wish and promise is for anyone, no matter what year or era we are living in, no matter how old we are, no matter where we live, no matter the color of our skin, no matter our gender, no matter what language we speak, anyone. The wish is for everyone to become a Buddha. And Buddha wishes for anyone and everyone who wishes to hear it. That includes you, your family, your relatives, and even people that you don't get along with. Amida Buddha doesn't leave anyone out. And so just like the adults in your life care for you all the time and want you to grow up safe, happy, and healthy, Amida Buddha wishes that all of us grow up spiritually safe, happy, and healthy, and confident enough to be able to get through and maneuver through any difficulty that we may encounter in our life. So even though we can't see Namo Amida Buddha with our eyes, we can hear Buddha with our hearts and our minds, and through our feelings, and through all of our life encounters. So Amida Buddha worked really hard to be truly empathetic or compassionate and wise for all of our benefits. So we should do our best to be mindful of Namo Amida Buddha's virtues and say hello and thank you to Buddha with a special greeting, Buddha's name, Namo Amida Butsu. So when you hear and say Namo Amida Butsu especially during this time of listening to the Dharma so we can get to that other shore. I hope you will remember the origin story of Namo Amida Buddha, because origin stories help us to understand why and how heroes became our inspiration. So thank you very much, everybody, for allowing me to share the origin story of Namo Amida Buddha today. And I would like to ask you to join me with our hands together in reverence as we recite Namo Amida Buddha's name together, okay? Namandabts, 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 namandabts. Should I go directly into the adult message, or will the... Okay, so thank you very much for allowing me to share that message for Dharma School children. I hope that you were able to learn something that you didn't know about Amida Buddha. So now I would like to share my message for the general adult population that are joining us today. So again, if you can please put your hands together as I recite Buddha's name. Namandabts, 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 namandabts. The vow of Amida Buddha is, from the very beginning, not a result of the devotee's calculation, but is designed to make each practitioner rely on Namo Amida Buddha and be received in the Buddha land to become Buddha themselves. Thus, the practitioner should not be concerned with what is good or bad. So again, thank you very much, everyone, for allowing me to share my appreciation of the Nembutsu teaching with you here today at the Coast District Fall Ohigan observance. As I mentioned just moments ago during the Dharma School message, Ohigan is a tradition which is observed during the spring equinox and fall equinox by the streams of Buddhism originating in Japan, because these two times of year are said to have the perfect conditions to listen and reflect on the Buddha Dharma. So listening to and reflecting on the Buddha Dharma, I think these are words that we have all heard said many times. And so these words may sound simple and easy on the surface, but do we really understand what this means? What is the Buddha Dharma, and why should we listen to it and reflect on it? So the passage that I just shared as the Gosandai, or theme of this message, is from Venerable Shindan's writings, found in the section called On Jinen Honi, or the section on as it isness, in his collection of poems on the three Dharma eras. In the passage, Venerable Shindan is clarifying what the purpose of the vow of Namo Amida Buddha and the purpose of the name of Namo Amida Buddha itself are. In the Dharma School message, I shared the story of why and how Amida Buddha came to be. That wish, in that I also shared the vow or promise that Amida Buddha made. And that wish and promise that I referred to, Dharmakata making, was of course the universal 18th vow, which is the vow that Venerable Shindan is referring to in this passage. Venerable Shindan's words that he shares are based on his understanding of the three Pure Land Sutras, which were expounded by Shakyamuni Buddha. And in this particular passage, Venerable Shindan is clarifying that the 18th vow, the Hongan, is designed by Buddha for us to rely on the name Namo Amida Buddha in order for us to become Buddha ourselves. Since it is the name that is our mode to get to that shore over there, we should not and do not need to be worried about or concerned with what is good or bad on our part. So recently, within the last few years, as I've been studying Buddhism and wanting to know what other people thought of Jodo Shinshu, I have heard some people commenting that they don't understand how Jodo Shinshu or Buddhism can apply to their life. And some people have said it's of no use to them if it cannot help them solve social issues. I have also heard someone say that Buddhism can only go so far for helping in one's life. And another person I heard say, Buddhism only teaches us how to be a good person, and I can learn that at school, so I don't need to come to temple. So whenever I was hearing comments like this, it made me feel very sad. I felt very sad because to me, I think the Buddha Dharma can offer so much more to us if we are able to take the time to truly, deeply listen to it and to truly, deeply hear the intent behind it. If we do not receive the Buddha Dharma the way that it is intended to be heard and merely try to apply it to our lives in a way that is convenient for us, then of course, I think the Buddha Dharma will fall short, or it will seem that way, and we will be disappointed, and we won't think much of the Dharma. So I would like to share a story about my young nephew who received a toy for Christmas several years ago. This toy that he received, it was this toy that was really cool. It was an action figure of one of his favorite Marvel superheroes. But it wasn't an ordinary action figure. It had a propeller on its head, and it came with a little box that looked like a remote control. And based on the picture on the box, this toy was able to really fly. And so my nephew thought that it was a toy drone. So when he unwrapped the gift and he saw that he got a drone, he was so happy. He just ripped the package open, and all of his cousins with him got so excited, and they all couldn't wait to play with this new drone. So they opened the toy out of the box, and they ran outside to play with it immediately because they wanted to see this toy fly. And within a few minutes, all of the adults that we were hanging out in the house, we heard scream, and then we heard crying. And then the kids came back into the house and told us that the toy had flown away. They were so upset with the toy for being able to fly away so easily. And they couldn't understand what happened. And then we asked the adults, we asked them, hey, did you read the directions on the box? And they said, no. And we picked up the box that they had just moments ago thrown to the side, and it clearly stated, not intended for outdoor use. The toy was not a drone at all, but it was merely a toy that was meant to hover around the room inside the house. Because the kids did not take the time to read the instructions and learn how the toy was intended to be played with, they misused it, and as a result, they were disappointed that the toy did not give them the joy that they had hoped for. So I think that the Buddha Dharma can be like this. If we do not keep in mind the Buddha Dharma's intention, then we will not be able to find true joy through it, because there will inevitably be something about the Dharma that disappoints us. Based on the teachings of the seven masters, Venerable Shinran teaches us that Namo Amida Buddha is the manifestation of the unsurpassed Dharma itself. And as he stated, the heart or the intent of the vow is for practitioners to rely on Namo Amida Buddha so that we may be received into the Buddha realm to become Buddha ourselves. Because the vow has already been fulfilled and Namo Amida Buddha has already manifested itself for us, there is no need for us to be concerned about doing good or bad in relation to the vow, or in relation to getting to that shore over there. To paraphrase another quote from Venerable Shinran, there is nothing that we can do to bolster or surpass Namo Amida Butsu, and there is no bad act that can hinder Namo Amida Butsu. So the initial question that I posed was, what is the Buddha Dharma, and why should we listen to and reflect on it? So when I was growing up, Burger King had the advertising slogan, "Your way, right away." Does anybody remember this phrase, "Your way, right away"? And Burger King was expressing that I, the customer, am always right, and everything can be customized to the way that I want it. I think that this slogan perfectly captures the way that we expect our lives to be lived. We want our lives to be my way, right away. I want everything to go my way, right away. And when I don't get my way, when things don't go my way based on my convenience, I become unhappy, and then I experience stress and suffering. I think my way, right away is the mindset of those of us who reside on this shore. When anything impedes my way, we become angry at that thing and blame it for our unhappiness, right? My nephew became sad and disappointed because the toy's intent was not in line with what he thought the toy should be, which was how he wanted to play with it. And I think that we may have even come to think the Buddha Dharma should also conform to my way, right away. If Buddha Dharma doesn't help me in the way that I want right away, then it becomes something that cannot help me. But I think the true Buddha Dharma, Namo Amida Buddha, Namo Amida Butsu, is not trying to help us attain worldly happiness through getting my way right away, but rather it is trying to compassionately help us escape that way of thinking, because it is the attachment to this way of thinking, my way right away, that leads us to experience unhappiness, stress, and suffering. So while we are here on this shore, we will not be able to fully escape that way of thinking. And because we cannot fully ultimately escape this way of thinking while we reside here, all the Buddhas are urging us, hey, aspire to go to that shore over there, aspire to go to the other shore. So as I mentioned, Namo Amida Butsu is the true Buddha Dharma that we should be listening to and reflecting to for ourselves. Namo Amida Buddha is always compassionately, actively teaching us about the truth that we experience stress, unhappiness, and suffering due to our attachments to what Venerable Shinran refers to as our three poisons: our selfish likes, our selfish dislikes, and our ignorance to the true and profound nature of all existence. Shakyamuni Buddha and Venerable Shinran teach us that we have been experiencing this from the beginningless beginning. It is because we as ordinary beings are like this that Namo Amida Buddha arose and is always compassionately calling to us in order to break through our ignorance to the truth of the nature of existence. Inside this calling of Namo Amida Butsu is the intent and heart behind the vow to bring all beings to that shore over there, Amida Buddha's Pure Land, so that all can become Buddha and then guide others to do so as well. No matter who we are, no matter where we are, and no matter when we are, Namo Amida Buddha is wishing for us to not only rely on this true Buddha Dharma to guide our lives, but as Venerable Shinran expressed, Namo Amida Buddha wants us to rely on it to go to that shore over there. And that is why Namo Amida Buddha manifested itself and established the universal vows. When we hear this calling and when we spend time reflecting on it, we can learn that there is another way to experience life, that it doesn't have to be always through my lens of my way right away. we can adopt a different slogan for the basis of our lives, which is the name Namo Amida Butsu. When we listen to and reflect on Namo Amida Butsu, rather than asking, what does this have to do with me? What is in it for me regarding the Dharma? I think we should practice asking, what is Buddha trying to teach me about the nature of myself? Based on what I learn about myself through Namo Amida Buddha, I might not be able to immediately or greatly change my behavior right away, but I'm slowly becoming aware or reminded of my deep karmic poisons, these 3 poisons, and know that because I am like this, Namo Amida Buddha vows to carry me to that shore over there. So when we hear Namo Amida Buddha's vow through that lens, I think it can inspire and awaken a deeper joy and confidence within each of us, which cannot be experienced if we only think of the Dharma as something to be used in accord to our own convenience. If we only listen to the Dharma in a way that is convenient for us, my way, right away, we will be like my nephew whose toy flew away. We will end up being disappointed with the Buddha Dharma, and it will seemingly not be right for me. So this Ohigan season, I wish for all of us to sincerely listen to Namo Amida Buddha in our daily lives in order to hear and reflect on the intent behind the true teaching and great practice of Namo Amida Buddha. I hope for all of us to listen to the teaching not through the lens of my way, right away, but rather through the heart of what is Buddha trying to teach me. I hope we can all listen in a way that allows the Buddha's compassionate wish to penetrate our hearts and minds. So thank you very much again, everybody, for being here today, for inviting me and allowing me to share my appreciation of the Nembutsu teaching with you here at the Coast District Fall Ohigan observance. So again, I would like to invite you to put your hands together in reverence as I reread Venerable Shindan's words. The vow of Amida Buddha is, from the very beginning, not a result of the devotee's calculation, but is designed to make each practitioner rely on Namo Amida Buddha and be received in the Buddha land to become Buddha themselves. Thus, the practitioner should not be concerned with what is good or bad. Naman doubts, naman doubts, naman doubts, naman doubts, naman doubts, naman doubts, naman.
Thank you very much, Reverend Koe Umezu. We noticed that the apple does not fall far from the tree. Excellent. Thank you so much. Loved your presentation for the Dharma School. I wanted it to continue on, but yet I learned so much from the adult service. Thank you so very much. And it is our pleasure that you could join us today. Thank you so much. It is, I forgot. This concludes our today's Ohigan service. I thank you very, very much for your attendance with us. And please stay tuned for our seminar chaired by Michael Jones of San Jose Betsuin and with guest speaker, Reverend Koe Umezu. So thank you very much. Let's take a 5-minute break for 544 or refill your drinks and come back in 5 minutes. If you would please join me in final gasho. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namandos. 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 Thank you so much.